I don't know. I'm on to a different subject.
Okay, go
now.
ahead.
Let me ask. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I'll kind of try to leave the names out, but
Jimmy.
I got to tell you something surreal.
Jimmy.
No, he was standing there though.
Okay.
I'm doing the CBS pilot, and I work with a woman who's the kindest woman on the planet, and her grandfather, who evidently she adores and worships, is Danny Thomas.
Okay.
Danny Thomas was a legendary actor in Hollywood and philanthropist.
Mm-hmm.
He started City of Hope, and he started his cancer research centers, and he was a major, major star through the 50s, 60s, 70s, probably into the 80s.
One of the first sitcom TV shows ever, really.
But there was a weird rumor, almost a Richard Gere-esque rumor, almost a Rod Stewart-esque rumor.
Yes. Something about his sexual proclivity.
No, yes. That something involving a clear coffee table and defecating upon it.
Okay.
And that he liked to be on the mechanic's creeper underneath it.
Got it.
Don't know how that one got started.
Yeah.
Don't know how the Rod Stewart one got started.
Maybe the provider of said coffee table material started the rumor. Just saying. That's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
On the other hand, do you think Rod Stewart had to have his stomach pumped because he ingested a gallon of semen?
That doesn't make any sense even. That's like nonsensical.
Right.
People don't, that's not even, do you even know what stomach pumped is?
No.
Okay.
All I know is my entire childhood, everyone was getting their stomach pumped, and in the last 20 years, no one's gotten their stomach pumped.
Right.
It's like he ate way too many Jelly Bellies, he had to have his stomach pumped.
Right.
Like everyone
there was a
pumped.
period of medical history for about 14 years where if somebody came with belly pain, first thing you did was put an NG tube and pull out what's in there just to see.
That's stomach pump. They don't do stomach pumping anymore.
They don't bother with that 9 times out of 10. So.
How did the Rod Stewart thing get started? This is
knows?
the documentary I want to make.
Yeah.
How did the Rod Stewart thing get started pre-internet?
Yeah.
And here's the crazy thing. I hang out with people that grew up in Boston, who grew up in New York, who grew up in Chicago, and all points in between, and then my friends in the Valley. We all knew about the Rod Stewart stomach pump at the exact same time.
Right, at the same age of development.
So while they
were
in the 7th grade in Massachusetts, and I was in 7th grade in North Hollywood, we both became acutely aware of Rod Stewart having to have a stomach pump.
But anyone who is in 12th grade or in pre-kindergarten probably has not heard that story. It was a particular window, too.
I caught them up on it, though, when I got to them later in life. The point is, this is pre-internet.
I get it.
Okay, so there was this story about Danny Thomas.
Yeah.
The coffee table rumor.
Okay.
That everyone's very aware of, but people in polite company, they play it fairly close.
Certainly if you're talking to the granddaughter, I'm not sure you'd...
Close to the vest on that
not
one,
first topic, anyway.
The adoring granddaughter.
Yeah.
So we did the table read, and we were sitting around with her, the world's nicest woman, and it was Jimmy and myself and her.
Clear table?
And no, nothing.
No
it was
reference.
not prompted by a lucite coffee table. And one of the members, I don't want to embarrass her by using her name, but at some point she said, "Oh, my grandfather's Danny Thomas," with some pride, by the way, and immediately what went flying out of the woman's mouth was, "Wow, what's going on with that coffee table thing?"
Was she high?
I couldn't believe it.
Oh my God.
And then everyone just looked at each other and they were just stunned.
Oh my God.
And there was a beat of silence, and then she said, "Oh my God, what did I say?" Which made it worse. And then she just kept apologizing. And the other person was like, "I've heard the rumors. It's okay." I mean, imagine your grandfather. Your grandfather started City of Hope. What about the coffee deal? By the way, like, she would have some insights. Yeah, let me get you my scrap. I got a shoebox with some pictures in here. Let me show you. This is 1971.
Here's the table.
Yeah, it is a table read after all. Jesus Christ. I'm standing there. I looked at Jimmy. Jimmy looked at me. It was like, "Oh, this is the greatest day of our lives." I couldn't get no better than this. And then you just wonder, like, what's Rod Stewart think about this stuff? How did this get started? Angry
Richard Gere
tour
with the
manager. Yeah, at least Richard Gere. And Gere was barely on the cusp of the computer. I mean, the computers were around, but people weren't emailing.
There was no internet,
Yeah, there
per
wasn't.
se. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Like Caltech would communicate with MIT with an internet, and that
1992,
was it.
people weren't really on their Facebook and Twittering and all
No,
this
I was in
kind of
medical
stuff.
school. I remember hearing that stuff.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
You're in med school when you heard about that?
Or mid-'80s, early '80s.
Well, couldn't have been early 80s. Well, maybe.
Mid-'80s.
No,
I was a resident when I heard it. What? What did you hear about Richard Gere?
I feel like I didn't hear about the Gerbil. I don't know where I was, but I didn't hear about the Gerbil until probably later 80s, early 90s.
Well, you're behind the curve a little bit.
We all know where we were.
Yeah.
It's like our parents when Kennedy got shot.
Yeah,
you know where you were when you heard about Richard Gere
disaster.
Richard Gere and the Gerbil. I'm just saying, who starts these things? How do they get started? And why can't they start another one?
I wondered if something to do. What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Pauly Shore is Dead is another one going around right now. I wonder if it's something to do with the personality, their persona in the media, the kinds of weird rumors that are going around about people's behaviors, and somehow they just sort of naturally hook up, because it seems to arise spontaneously in multiple places almost. You know what I mean?
So Rod Stewart had to have engaged in some behavior that
triggered our imagination. You know what I mean? I wonder if it's something about us, not about I don't know.
So
because it spread too naturally.
So if you
thoroughly.
said Regis Philbin had to have his stomach pumped because he ingested a gallon of semen,
boom,
it wouldn't work.
Wouldn't go.
It'd be like, nah.
But somehow,
not gonna work.
And maybe that was a period of time when people were starting to talk.
So
about
you say that
these
about
things.
Rod Stewart, and you say it to a guy, and he's like, all right, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Was this multiple guys or one guy? It's just like a fire hydrant. Was that everyone on the tour bus? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
And then he kind of tests the next guy. And the next guy says, "Oh my God!" Oh, now we're in. Now we're going. Right?
Okay. Good times.
Here's Joshua.